point is that where he says acquire wisdom, acquire understanding, you think I would contrast wisdom and understanding. I wanted to talk about acquire because he says it twice. If you're writing for brevity, you see, you'd say acquire wisdom and understanding. But why does he say acquire twice? The word kona, acquire, also means to buy. By the way, it's used in the marriage contract. A husband acquires a wife, get this, from her father. And what they're referring to is the responsibility that he acquires. It's not the...
It's not something free, or what?
See, even the word acquire, he's taking on the responsibilities, perhaps better than acquire. Now that I put my head to it. He acquire also means buy. Its use in this verse indicates that if one cannot find someone willing to teach Torah or wisdom free of charge, he should be prepared to hire a teacher. Just as someone is willing to pay for food since it is a necessity of life, so too one must be ready to pay for wisdom, which is the food of the soul. Now I'm translating Torah as wisdom, but the point is, what's Bruce not doing in the show? I'm not paying anyone. What's it telling me clearly? Jerk, pay someone, hire someone, do it right. So I'm not living by what I'm preaching, and I got to fix that.
No, I think, no, it's not that, that's what I'm saying. This is how through, when we go through life experience, we learn through life experience and realize what we are doing sometimes is not right or right. So it's not that you are doing wrong or whatever, but the way you say acquire it or get it or own it or have it, it's a process too.
And people don't even know that they should be looking for it. They don't know that they should be acquiring wisdom. It's not on their agenda.
Not at all.
It's not on their agenda at all.
It's not on Netflix.
It's not on Netflix at all. I mean, they go Dr. Phil and they do whatever, looking for whatever wisdom, but...
I think that's why we bring understanding and knowledge and wisdom. You might have the knowledge, like Dr. Hose, they have the knowledge. They have knowledge to express what they experience telling us. But I can't say they have wisdom. I'm not sure, because wisdom need extra miles. The way the book says, acquire the wisdom. So maybe wisdom is expensive to have it, because behaving, you have to constrain your body, discipline your body.
Oh, yeah. Your body wants certain things that are so bad for you.
Exactly.
I know somebody who's about my age, but
He's talking about himself. I know it.
No, I'm not going to mention this person, but they're about my age, right? Mm-hmm. And they're off. They got rid of their wife. They're off. They're looking for women, and they're looking for do that whole. And it's just, it's how silly. 60 years old, and you've got you get your new fancy car, and you pretend you're 20 years old. It's just until you realize you're just a piece of garbage.
Yeah, it's true. I always call abuse of life, because
abuse of life.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
You can abuse your body. You can abuse your life by not having wisdom, because wisdom can create a certain level of discipline of yourself. Wisdom discipline you what you say. Wisdom discipline you what you put in your body, what you eat, what you dress. It's the wisdom. See, people don't lack wisdom. That's why they abuse themselves. Like wisdom, like okay, I have money, sure, but if you tell me to buy a Lamborghini, which I really don't need, it's not a necessity for me, and I have people around me who don't even have food.
Yeah.
That is abuse.
It's an abuse. That's totally an abuse.
Yeah, abuse of life. And so people live this kind of life, showing us all these kind of images. That's what I'm saying. That's not wise. If you are 60 years old and then you still live like a teenager, that's not life.
Although I'd like to try it. Go on.
There's a saying in Judaism. It's who's rich? Who's rich? A person who's really happy with what he's got.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a rich person, and even if he lives in a little hut, like I was once in Israel in the Sinai, and I lived in a little hut in the beach, and every morning the Bedouins would come and bring us food, and it was the most beautiful place in my life, but it was so simple,
Yeah.
It was so
No,
simple.
if you see all the wise people, they're always simple because they take things at their level.
They get joy from everything. They get joy from everything.
Yes. They own, yeah.
And other people, they're constantly trying to get joy, and they can never quite achieve it. No how much money you spend, no much how you can never achieve it.
And this is why the evil will never end, because people want to live beyond who they own themselves.
That's right.
So, and this is why the world is really getting more crazy every day, because there are people, the devil shows us all these kind of things, and people think that is life. But I think the King Solomon said, don't give me money, don't give me anything, give me wisdom. And I was thinking when I had one of the shows about this, I said, that's why if you have wisdom, you have everything. Because if you have wisdom, you are going to understand that dressing up designer clothes is not an issue. You are going to understand that keeping millions of money in the bank account is not an issue.
Want to hear a great phrase for that? A great phrase? And I see it all the time with the cars, with the clothing. If it or he or she is empty on the inside, they build it up on the outside.
You are right. That's a good one. I like that. So that's how it is. Okay. So
We go. I want to go on.
I saw ice cream today.
Oh,
I
she
don't
wants to
know
go to
what
ice
you're
cream.
talking about.
She wants to get to ice cream. She wants to get to ice cream.
Bad.
Okay, fine.
No, I saw he came with a box of ice
They're
cream.
public enemy
My-
number one,
my
Ben and
member-
Jerry's.
I have mine already here.
See, this is a very good point, the Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, I'm going to read an editorial.
Oh, okay.
Tell me, should I read the editorial first, or do you want to make it?
I was just saying that sometimes
Some people don't see.
sometimes-
You see, this is what they're talking about.
That's Haagen-Dazs. Those
But
are
that's
the good guys.
These are the good guys. Those are the good guys.
What is this? What is this about today?
Oh, so well, Dave, you tell us what it's about. I'll read the editorial, then we'll have some ice cream.
Well, Ben and Jerry's has made a moral stand, right?
So please, when you are talking about this, I can try to tell the viewers to test.
Yeah. Ben and,
The boss.
Ben and Jerry's has made a moral stand as a corporation, and they've decided that Israel is wrong in what they do, and that that if that they can no longer sell ice cream in what they call occupied territories. They can no longer sell ice cream there, so they're cutting off sales, right? But I'm just
Where are these made from? Israel or where?
That's local.
This is local. Okay.
But you notice it's not Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, that's
It's
something.
a fine ice cream.
Okay.
But I mean, this is a society that learns its wisdom from TV. This is a society that, it's okay if people are rioting and throwing things in the street, because I come from a horrible country. America is a terrible place, or Canada is a terrible place. It's just, even though thousands of people want to come live here, and what I'm saying is you can develop a false morality, right? And that's fake,
morality.
a false and a deadly one, and an evil one. You can develop a morality that's wrong, that's absolutely causes horror in the world, And I'm saying, so you lend support to the wrong people. Let's say the communists, right? It's great to be communist, but in the end, you get Venezuela,
Or Cuba.
or Cuba. You get Venezuela or Cuba. Nobody wants that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you listen to their wisdom, but they don't really have wisdom. So
I'm going to read an editorial that I think you'll be there's a couple facts that are, this story moved quickly this week, and I'm reading from Wednesday, so it might be different today. Jerusalem Post, fighting back against Ben and Jerry's with boycott. The Vermont-based ice cream brand said it would continue operating in Israel, suggesting that it is planning to pull its products from stores located in Israeli settlements in the West Bank. This week's announcement that Unilever, the parent company of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, will pull its products from the store shelves in Judea and, how do you say Shamron? Samaria. And is something about which none of us should be silent. The release from the Jewish Telegraphic Agency stated, following pressure from pro-Palestinian activists, Ben & Jerry's announced Monday that it would stop selling ice cream in the occupied Palestinian territory. It's a lot of loaded words here. The Vermont-based ice cream brand said it would continue operating in Israel, suggesting it is planning to pull its products from stores located in Israeli settlements in the West Bank. We believe it is inconsistent with our values for Ben & Jerry's ice cream to be sold in the occupied Palestinian territory, the company said. We also hear and recognize the concern shared with us by our fans' trusted partners. A subsidiary of the British conglomerate Unilever, Ben & Jerry's also said it will allow its controversial contract with a license that manufactures the brand's ice cream at a facility in Israel proper and distributes to the region to lapse next year. So they're punishing. The company will maintain a presence in Israel through a different arrangement that will be unveiled in the future. The catalyst for this decision was the pressure exerted by a group called Vermonters for Justice in Palestine that is totally committed to supporting the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, some sort of economic warfare against Israel, a program that seeks to ultimately eliminate the state of Israel as a Jewish homeland. I suggest that those of us who buy Ben & Jerry's ice cream can easily disagree with the company's policy by hitting back with a counter boycott. We should stop buying Ben & Jerry's products wherever they are sold in Israel or the world, so the company will know that, in our opinion, their actions are despicable. For those who are not satisfied with our local brands, many of which are premium products in their own right, they can opt for Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To satisfy their
Viewers, what he said, okay, this is the best. It tastes very good. It's very, very good and healthy.
Better
too.
than Ben & Jerry's.
way better, way better.
Way better.
This is, no, it's very healthy too. And I don't want to say what Bruce said, but
Let me finish this.
You
Let
had
me
him.
finish this. They can offer Haagen-Dazs to satisfy their palates or any other so-called premium brand. The world has entered a dangerous political phase where no one is prepared to say no to demands that are simply an attempt to snuff out the existence of Israel in every possible way. That is the clear intention of the boycott, divestment, and sanction movement. Any other stated reason notwithstanding, let us not give our enemies another victory. Boycott Ben & Jerry's in Toronto, in Los Angeles, wherever you are.
Did you know that the parallel thing is going on in China right now? Have you been reading that?
Go ahead, tell us about that.
Well, in China, many brands have decided that they're no longer going to use cotton that's sourced from the Uyghurs because the Chinese are supposedly, they're not treating them well. So what China's doing, and the Chinese people are ripping up their Nikes, they're throwing them in the garbage. Nikes, H&M, all these Western brands, they're getting rid of completely, and they may never return these Western brands to China.
Chinese citizens are
Not the citizens
No, the
and
country
the country as well, but the citizens too are actually, because they're angry. How dare you question our way of life or whatever? How dare you put your morals on us? How dare you?
it's true. I saw that too, and I think I've started since January, especially with this pandemic. So it's like China now is going to stop buying all the products from North America and Europe.
That's right. That's right.
And but we are still having Chinese stuff.
No, just anybody who supports and how it helps the Palestinians not to sell them ice cream. They're still going to sell the Jews the ice cream, but they're not going to sell the Jews ice cream where there's mostly Palestinians. So it means the Palestinians will not have ice cream.
The SodaStream example is a stronger point. The SodaStream is an Israeli firm. It's international that manufactures. You put the gas in the bottle, you pull the plug or whatever, and it sprays into the glass, and it's a carbonated soda pop. You don't have to keep getting bottles. You just get the tank, and it's a small thermos type thing. They had a plant in the so-called West Bank. the boycotters were really heavy. They said, okay, fine. Oh, they employed 1,000 people, mostly Arabs. 1,000 people, mostly Arabs, were employed. They said, okay, you guys are telling us, want to do a campaign to boycott SodaStream. We're moving the plant out of the West Bank as you have instructed. They reset it up in the south in Israel. It's functioning. There's never any drop in the supply chain. But 1,000, mostly
People are
Arabs,
going to
lost their jobs.
Lost their job.
Yeah, that was the lack of wisdom, that shameful meddling in, and same with who gives it. How can ice cream is nice? Ice cream's love. Ice cream's a summer day, and we're gonna say, okay, that brand is gonna be what I would like to see, cripple that damn brand because they need to be punished and they need to learn a lesson for all the
But
manufacturers of all
Thomas,
the
they have
products.
different things. So if we talk about the brand, that means we have to destroy everything we're using. And how are we going to do it?
Destroy everything we're using.
Because Tom and Jerry has so many stuff, not only ice cream.
Tom and Jerry.
No, Ben and Jerry.
Ben and Jerry.
Oh, I don't know a thing about them. I don't know anything. I just thought they were in the ice cream business, and mostly just a label. Mostly it's just.
You're
a
talking
franchise.
Unilever, the parent company is Unilever.
Yeah.
So they have a bunch
Unilever
of
seems
brands.
to have come out good and said we're not following it. These were jerks in Vermont. We're not following. That's what I thought I saw, and that's what I thought they said in the last 2 days. What I'm reading is from Wednesday.
So what is the wisdom and understanding should go forward there?
Oh man, plan your work and know what the hell you're talking about, and know what you're talking about before you start mixing in international economic deals.
Oh, but it's just like a star, like these Hollywood stars, They come out with their opinion. Every time you make an opinion, you make 100,000 enemies, right? If whatever my opinion, if I'm an Indian who criticizes Pakistan, I have 1 million people hating me, and just whatever your opinion is, you're gonna have people hating you. That's the way you gotta be careful what you say.
It's like the flip side of an opinion.
And why should they have an opinion? They're entertainers
Yeah.
or they're companies. Why should they have an opinion on one way or the other? You know what I mean?
It's a misuse of fame.
And they have to understand that they're going to be boycotted, and they understand if they do that like that, people are going to retaliate. You
It's
know?
showing up in American sports. That's what it shows. People, less attendance watching on TV and less attendance at stadiums. Americans are sick of seeing their sports politicized, particularly football with Kaepernick and so on. It just showed people they don't want. They want to go where everyone's going to salute the flag and stand at attention for the national anthem. They don't want to be told they're jerks, and they want to have a good time, but they don't make it political.
Now, whatever you say about Israel, whatever you say, you're going to have 10,000 people sending you death threats. No matter what you say. If I say it's a sunny day there, they'll say, "What right do they have to the sunny day?" It's gotten so bad.
Now I think viewers, yes, it's a wisdom show, and this discussion we are doing it's part of wisdom, because we want to understand, and a lot we are talking about understanding and knowing what to say at the right time and right place. So when we are talking about an ice cream issue, we are trying to see what was the problem, why is the problem, and what can be done. So it's not that we are out of the topic, no. So the point is, the way you said anything about Israel, you get negative response.
Yeah.
Anyway, next time I think we need to talk about Israel.
I don't know, as the host of the show, if I wanted to get political, or I purposely didn't want to get political, but this one stood out too strong.
The point is, it's not politics. This is a wisdom show. When you talk wisdom, we need wisdom in politics.
Okay, fair enough.
We need wisdom in business. We need wisdom in every area of our life.
Viewers, if you'd like me to find a juicy editorial once a week and read it on, that we can apply wisdom from it or to it, then
for me, I really like to hear
ice cream wars.
we are in Toronto here. We live with Jewish community, and this is a multiculturalism radio whereby we want to learn and understand the extent of other communities, because the way you say it, we only see the news, and this news full of hate.
there was a time where you could watch the news and trust it. Today, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't trust anything I watch.
Yeah, we're on the same page. I don't trust.
I don't
it.
Yeah,
trust
so
anything.
and this is why I think that we need to discuss these issues. We need to put a portion of this issue and set the clear border. How we understand what is the right and what is the truth. Because you see, all these big medias have been bought by those big people, so they try to influence, seduce us, and do all those stuff through the news.
Right.
And they want us to make understanding what they want us to. The system is controlling us because every media is controlled by somebody.
That's right, and with an
So,
agenda too.
Yeah, it
right?
has an agenda, you're right.
You should know that with the advent of a greater news cycle, 24-hour news cycle, and social media, the media business has become a war front
Of
between
course.
countries.
No, it has been that way. If you talk the First World War, it's the media was front. If you talk anything caused this world, it's the media. If you talk about pandemic today, coronavirus, the media has played the front line of everything.
Okay.
So
I'm only a century late.
I just want to ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
Who do you think has more viewership, CNN or Fox?
I've been
The news.
Well, I started tuning into CNN's
One's
dropped
very
like a
right
rock.
wing, one's sort of woke.
CNN's
right?
dropped like a rock.
Drop like a rock, right? People are going to the right wing channels, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 3-1
Yeah.
over.
It's also
CNN.
they were just bashing Trump. Since Trump's out of the picture, they got nothing to do.
Yeah.
you know, for me, I always balance the news. I go to BBC, Al Jazeera,
I try to do that
CNN, Fox, and everything, and then I said, and then I try to see this, because if you see the same news, if the way CNN reported, Al Jazeera is going to report the same news, very different.
I got to tell you an example.
BBC is going to report the same news differently.
And people go to their own channels, right? So people end up getting what they're expecting. You know, they end up going to their own stations instead of looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
So
This is what I'm saying, that the system is controlling us. So if you talk BBC has its own agenda.
Yeah.
So it only reports its own style, because it wants people who are watching BBC to get it. They will to relate to the agenda. So that will never go different.
I must tell you my personal example. When I was a kid in Jerusalem, when we were in rabbinical college, a bomb went off in the old city, a block away from where I was living. And the helicopters were flying over low, looking for suspects or whatever. It was all fast. I listened to it an hour later on BBC, the English Jordan, Jerusalem, and I heard three different versions, and the helicopters were all. I could see helicopters, like low.
Yeah, so I think, and this is the purpose of this radio, that let us make things right. So if we can discuss different issues, please, viewers, we are really very happy to make things right. We don't have any side, but we want to make things right. And this is the reason why we have the Wisdom Show by Bruce.
Yes. Bruce is trying to learn wisdom. Bruce just is going through a book. How are we on time? Should we take a break now?
Yeah, because
Should I get some ice cream while we take a break?
yeah, take a break.
Take
And
some ice cream. Okay,
yeah,
ladies
maybe.
and gentlemen, now a word from our sponsor and an ice cream break.
Our company is committed to providing truthful, honest, competent, and result-oriented service through advising and representing our clients in Canada and overseas in a wide range of immigration matters. We focus on providing support, building dependable relationships, and promoting success. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf.
gentlemen, we are back. Now, with permission of our guests, Dr. with Jossey Slaa and our friend Dave, I found something. I'm trying to find a wisdom in the news segment. So I found the best thing, not the best, the only thing I found when I looked a few weeks, something from 3 years ago. Because there's no wisdom in the news. So at any rate, it's a question, a survey, how wise are you? And we'll Dave, can we meet you halfway?
Sure.
Okay. You got a pen?
So this is a game?
This is a game, and our viewers...
DJ, come and take your piece here.
this is science at its
DJ,
best.
come and take your piece here. This is a game.
Owen, you're gonna get high marks. Now I'll tell you, I did the long version, and I got a certain mark. I won't tell you. But this is the abbreviated version. Dave, you want a pen? I'll toss it to you. So I'll toss it.
So what do we do?
So you got a pen?
No, I used to have my pen here.
Yeah,
I think we have pens there. You have more?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got a pen. Okay. I'll read it out so the viewers at home can try to put a number. If you got a pen, where you are. Oh, I should just tell you, this is from Jess Thomas Wisdom Index from, I think it's the University of San Francisco, the Sam and Rosenstein Institute of Research on Aging, U.S. San Diego Health Studies. And there's 6 questions that show if you are wise. So we'll go through it and then we'll rank it. So and viewers at home, please grab a piece of paper and a pen. On a scale of 1 to 5, how far do you agree with each of the questions below? 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Number 1, I enjoy being exposed to diverse viewpoints.
5.
Okay.
Yeah, 5.
Okay. Number 2, if you have a difficult time keeping friendships. Oh, I have a difficult time keeping friendships. 5 is the greatest agreement, 1 is the least.
For me, I don't have difficulty for keep friendship.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Dave's giving me a face.
Well, women are better at it.
Okay.
Women, God bless them, you know.
No, for me, I dance with you. If you dance this way, I dance with you this way. So I will keep you low. If I know that you have certain behavior maybe I don't like, I will only do what I find is right, and I will give a distance to where I cannot associate. Yeah, but I learned
You have your limits.
I learned something, and this I would like to share that everybody you meet in this world is not by accident. You might not see the importance today, but 5 years, 10 years, you might need that person.
There's a fundamentally God-centered
Yesterday,
perspective.
I met somebody 3 years past, and I forgot about her. I lost her number. But I remember that time, she was with a mother, and I kept mother's number. And I really needed that thing yesterday. No one to call. I called the office. They told me, we don't have an opportunity, no chance, you can't step in. I remembered, no, somebody's working there, and I lost her number. So I had to find, and I got it. So I said, you know what? If I did not keep this number, I was going to lose this opportunity.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
So that is part of my wisdom.
That's keeping friendships.
Keep friendship, yeah.
Okay, number 3. It is important that I understand my actions.
Very nice. 5.
Okay. Number 4. I cannot filter my negative emotions. Dave's giving me faces that are great.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Number 5. I tend to postpone making major decisions as long as I can. Oh yeah, procrastination.
I tend to postpone making major decisions
as long as I can.
I think you do sometimes. For me, no. I take risk.
I'm the Iron Man.
You're the Iron Man.
6.
What about David? Is it 5 or 2 or 4?
I'm pretty 4. I'm a 4 on number 5.
Oh, okay.
Number 6. Others look to me to help them make choices.
Wow.
Well, why do you say wow?
I do well. 4, I would say.
What you said? Wow, with a real guttural wow.
No, I said well because I just had some text that please say something about this. So it's like
Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's the bottom. Here's the calculation. Okay. Add up your score from every question. Okay. So you can add up your score from every question. Viewers at home, tick tick tick, or dun 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 dun. But then minus the numbers you attributed to questions 2, 4, and 5. So subtract the
2,
question from 2, 4, and 5. The total from 2, 4, and 5.
4 and 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, just 2, 4, and 5.
Yeah. 5 times 6 minus. Okay. That's
Okay,
not
so
bad.
what's the number you got?
14.
I got
Four-
15.
14, 15. I don't know what it's out of. Like I don't know.
So
I don't know if it's out of 20. I don't know.
So what does that
But
mean?
I'll tell you what I did. I did the long version on the computer. Want to know what I got?
Yeah. I want to know.
I got 85.8%.
85? How did you get 85?
I don't. It's a different version. It's a longer version. It was online.
Okay.
And then they said do the abridged test. So I don't know. I think it's out of 20. That's I think.
So
you got
and
14 out of 20 is like 70%, and you got what out of 20?
15 over 20.
So 75%. So let's be clear.
No.
My wisdom tells me you don't get too far with this test. My wisdom is telling me.
Probably correct.
Wow. Okay.
But you know what I'll do? I have no idea the validity of this.